everyone, in this video we're going to be going over the Bit Forms, one of the best forms plugin for WordPress out there, in my personal opinion. And as it so happens to be, BitApps decided to sponsor this video, so thank you BitApps for sponsoring today's video. And for you who's watching the video, we have a lot to cover, so without further ado, let's dive right in. So when I'm here over on my WP admin dashboard, I currently have the Bit Forms plugin already installed on my WordPress website. But if you don't have it already installed, you will want to go to plugins, then add new, and then head over and install the Bit Form, or just type inside the search box Bit Form, and it would be this exact plugin. So as I said, in my case, it is already installed, but for today's video, we'll also need the pro version because I will show you some of the steps that you can make inside the form, and some of the fields are in the pro version. So let's head over and make our first form, and then I will show you what you get in the pro version. So in order to create a new form, we'll head over to Bit Forms, and over here, we'll have a new interface. As you can see here, I've already created a new form over here. As you can see here, it's an untitled form, but we're going to be creating a new form together. But before we dive into the whole setup of the form, I just wanted to show you what we get here already out of the box. So we get here all the forms, as if you've seen one of the other videos that I've made on bit integrations, which is already on the channel, so it will be popping up right now on your screen. By the way, if you're asking yourself whether it integrates with bit integrations, you guessed it correctly. They do integrate it, and they have a lot of things there. Other than that, we have the forms, we have the status, whether it's active or not, the form name, the shortcode. Yes, in this case, we'll need to use some shortcodes. We have views, how many views of the forms, completion rate, responses, created, and actions. Now over here, over in the actions, we have a lot of things here. We have edit form, responses, settings, confirmations, conditional logic, which is great, integrations. We can also duplicate the form that I've currently created, or if you want to duplicate a form that you already created, so to save yourself some time in the future, you have that over there. You can also export that, and you can also delete it. Now there are app settings over here. There are the option to search and the option to view or hide some of the fields over here, which I think is better when you want to save some time and you don't want to see some of the table fields over here. Now we have also the doc and support, but other than that, I want to head over with you and create a form. So let's head over and click the button of create form. Now the first thing that will pop up on your screen would be this pop-up, which would ask you, what do you want to create? You want to create a blank form, a contact form, or form import. If you have it already created and you just want to import it, and it will be right there. In our case, we'll create a blank one, but again, you can choose whatever you want here. So we'll hit create, and the new interface would change, and we'll be greeted with this new interface. Now, let me just walk you through a few things that will be much easier for you to understand what is actually happening on this screen. So on the left side over here, we have our sidebar, which would contain all the fields. As you can see here, we have a lot of fields. Now, you might have seen here already that some of them are pro, some of them are new, and trust me, there's a lot of things you can do here, even in the free version, but I will show you why I would also suggest you to upgrade to the pro version. And trust me, it doesn't cost that much if you look at it. We'll cover that a little later. Other than that, as you can see here in the free version, we already have the username, password, phone number, currency, country fields out of the box. Even though we don't have here the signature and the PayPal, Stripe, draft button, and other fields, but trust me, there's a lot of things you can do. Now, in the middle, we have our actual form, which we'll be creating together in a few minutes. Now, on the right here, we have our fields, and trust me, once we get to working with the fields and dragging and dropping them over here, you'll be able to see how many options. I'm telling you already, there's so many options you could do with them. I haven't seen it in Elementor. I know it's not the best comparison, but already the options that it gives you here, they're massive. And as a website developer, or one who is building a lot of websites with WordPress, I haven't seen those options other than just tweaking them with CSS and before and after. And trust me, this is some next level stuff. Other than that, we have our builder, we have responses and settings, which we'll get to right here in the middle on the top. Now we have the option to view our form in the tablet view and in the mobile view. The reason for it that it is displaying over here, because don't forget that this is a shortcode that we'll be implementing inside our Elementor page builder. One more thing that I wanted to show you here, right here on the top right hand corner, we have the ability to switch between the field settings and the theme customization. Now, the form here would be customized depending on the theme that we'll be setting up over there. Just wanted to show you a brief overview of what all this interface is all about. Now, the first field that I would want to drag and drop here is actually the text over here. Now, it's pretty much the same as we're familiar with drag and drop. The same thing will be happening over here. And just let's drag and drop it right over here. And as you'll be able to see here, we're already seeing where it's going to be landing. Now, it didn't land over there, but again, you can also drag it over here in the arrows over here, or all directions arrow over here, and then just drag it on top of the submit button. As you might be able to see, my right sidebar just refreshed. And this is what I've been telling you about the field settings. Don't be intimidated because there's so many settings. I haven't even got to all of them myself, but we're going to be covering some of them in this video. One of the other things that I wanted to show you here that I haven't seen in other builders is that if you head over to one of the fields, you'll be able to see here we have on the right these 3 vertical dots. Now, when I hover it, my arrow changes. So it means that I can change the width of the field here. Now, this is one of the best features that I've seen because I'm usually doing forms with Elementor and they only have the specific width, which is fine. But what if I need a specific digit of view that I want to set it up? Now, this gives you this flexibility, and let's just drag it and you'll be able to see here right here on the left. Now it disappeared, but it was on width 50. As you can see here, I can just drag it and the numbers are responsive and they changing on the fly. This is one of the things that I'm appreciating about this plugin, which gives you this flexibility of just changing the width of to whatever you need. There's so much to cover, so I'm trying to explain to you on the fly what is happening over here. As you can see, we have also other icons over here. We have the style, we have the settings, we have the option to duplicate the exact field after we've stylized one field exactly as it is with all the styles to the new field. This is one of the powers of the bit forms. Other than that, we can also trash it or remove this field, depends on what you want. And the next thing that I want to do here is also add an email field as we usually have on forms. And over here, one of the cool things here is that, again, I can also scale it down to, let's say 30, and then just drag it just next to it. So again, you can stylize it to depending on what you want. I can't stress this enough because it's so crazy to think that they've built this feature and I'm not even talking about pro version yet. Now, one thing before we continue, when I was creating my first form, I confused between the publish and the update. For some reason, I've clicked the publish and then I just got the shortcode as you can see here, but make sure that when you want to update, whatever you do here on this interface, you click update. So the updates will be form updated successfully, as we can see here, this little notice over here. And the next field that I wanted to drag and drop here is the phone number, as we be able to see right over here. One of the great things that I've noticed here, which I think is missing inside the Elementor form builder, again, I know I compare it to them and I don't think it's quite a good comparison, but again, I just seen what it does here and I think it's such a great way to implement it that you can also choose here, right here inside the field itself, the arrow over here, the country. Look how many countries they already implemented inside this dropdown. I mean, this is insane. You usually don't get it when you're setting up with auto forms, but if you're not sure if your country is over there, so once you click this arrow, you can also search for your country. So let's say United States, as you can see here, United States of America. And as we can see here, we have our +1 and then the number and so forth. The same thing over here, we can also scale it down or just change the width of it to 30, let's say. And the next thing that I want to do here is also drag the country field over here. It will be beneath our phone number. And again, we can also scale that down to 30 and also drag it right next to it. And as we can see here, we have our select country. And then also over here, we can select our country if we want to, and or search for, let's say, United States, as we can see here. I wanted to show you how you can also add a new step to the form. As we can see here on the top left of these fields over here, we're staying still in the middle over here. Step 1, we can click the plus icon over here and add new step. And as we can see here, we'll have now automatically the progress bar and the previous and next buttons. Now, if you want to change the progress bar over here, you just click it and then you'll be able to see here we have a few more options. Now, I don't like to show my percentages. I just like like it to keep it simple and that's all. You can also disable it altogether by just disabling it, but I will keep it and I'll just disable the percentage and that's pretty much it. Other than that, I want to add here the repeater field. Now, the repeater field, if you're not familiar with it, what it does here is just duplicating whatever field you drag inside of it. As we'll be able to see here, we have plus and minus. Now, over in the back end, you won't be able to see this being duplicated, but on the front end, you'll be able to see that it will duplicate the field that I will be setting up over here. In this case, I'll be dragging and dropping a multi-line text, which would be the big text field that we used to see. So let's put it right over here. And again, we can also stylize it over here depending on our needs. And one more thing that I would want to drag here is the text field right on top of it. Yes, I know it's a bit wider than what I've expected, but let's just keep it simple as what it is. And the other field that I wanted to drag and drop here is the image select here. So let's do that right underneath the multi-line text over here. Let's say I have a form here where I want to have the text, the multi-line text, and the image select right underneath each other, which the user will be able to fill in, let's say his family or any other relatives that he wants to, and add some text or names or whatever he wants to. I think that should do it for the second step. And then the third step, I want to add the payment method. I want to add a signature and a decision box, or I agree to something. So in this case, we'll need to activate the pro version. Let's say I'm using Stripe or PayPal, and also I will need the signature field, which is also in the pro version. So let me activate the pro version and I'll be right back. One little note here is that you will need to, if you got the pro version, download it to your PC or Mac and then just upload it to your website and then activate the license via the API, or just click the button where it will connect your account to your website. Other than that, we're back in our form, and as you'll be able to see here, everything is now open to us. The first thing that I would want to select here is the PayPal account. For my case, I would also need to set up the PayPal account, but I will leave that to as simple as it is, so you will be able to do it in your own time if you wish to, whether it's Razorpay, Stripe, or any other payments that they been able to provide you with those fields. And when we drag and drop it to our form over here, you'll be able to see here, we'll need to set it up here. So I'll head over, set it up, and I'll be back with you. Now, even though I haven't shown you the whole process of connecting PayPal to Bitforms, one of the great features here is that you don't have to install another plugin. It's already integrating with Bitforms, and that's one of the biggest things that I'm so pumped about. Let's just drag and drop our PayPal field over here, and then again, it will shout at me, you have to connect it. But one thing that I forgot to do is just click update, and then I'll hit refresh, and then I'll just drag and drop it again over there. So let's head over to our step 3, and then let's try to drag and drop it one more time. And now we'll be able to see that loading PayPal, we'll be able to see our 2 buttons over here. One of the other things that I wanted to do here is also drag and drop the signature field, which is also only the pro version, but it is quite a useful feature. So let's drag and drop it just underneath it. And again, I'll just adjust it to something like, let's do something like 18. I think that should be good. And one of the other things that I wanted to drag and drop here is the decision box. Now, the decision box is one of these boxes that will tell you, yes, I do conform to the terms and conditions or whatever you choose to here. And in this box, I would do something like, I will decide for you. Again, you can style it to whatever you want to. Now, let's head over here to our label, click this, we have this little pop-up with the ability to add it to whatever we want to. And here I'll just say, I will decide for you, and a smiley face. Other than that, you can stylize here a lot of things. You can even put here a link, again, to terms and conditions or whatever you want to. You just select the text here as we're used to see here in WordPress. Just click the insert or edit link, and then you'll be able to see the URL, text to display, title, target, new window, or none. I'll just keep it as it is, then just click save. Now, you might have noticed here, even though we went through all of these steps here, we have step 1, which will include our text, or in this case, we'll change it up a little bit to first name or full name, and then email, phone number, country, and then we're able to see here we have our button of submit here, and then previous, next, and then we have step 2, which will include the repeater field of text, multi-line text, image select, and then the step 3 of payment with PayPal, and then signature, and I will decide for you with the decision box. Now, again, we have here the previous and next. So how do we go about and just change those buttons so they will be corresponding to whatever we need to? Because on step 3, I just want to submit the form. And actually, honestly, it's quite simple, even though it's not quite visible to the naked eye, but you might think that you would need to go to step 1 and then just drag and drop it to step 3, even though it would be kind of great. But one thing that you need to do is right click this button over here, or this whole field over here, and then we'll be able to see we have a new drop down. We have deselect, settings, style, clone, hide, and move to. So in this step, we'll need to move it to step 3, and that's all. That's pretty much what you need to do here. So head over to step 3 and we'll be able to see our submit button over here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now you're pretty much done. Don't worry about the previous and next button. Even though they show up over here, over in the back end, you will see in a minute that they will display or not display depending on the step that you're in. By the way, speaking of the steps, did you know that you can also drag and drop those steps over here? You just click it and then you just drag it over here right next to each other. Also, you can duplicate them. You just click the 3 dots over here and just clone the step. You cannot add more than PayPal. In this case, I cannot duplicate it because I can only have 1 step of payment. But other than that, you can head over to step 2, let's say, and then just clone that, and you'll be able to see that on step 2 we have the same thing. As we can see here, everything is copied, the styles, the fields, everything. Now the same thing would be if you want to delete it, just click the 3 dots and then delete this step. Yep, I want to delete it. Other than that, let's stylize a little bit our fields over here. So let's head over to our step 1 over here, and let's head over to our text field. Let's head over to our label when we choose it. So let's do something like full name and email. Let's keep that as it is. Phone number and country, I think that should suit that pretty much. Now, other than that, I just wanted to show you here some of the options because there's so many over here. Now we have the subtitle. Now the subtitle would add a little title just beneath our full name. Now you can also stylize it over here. You can set the lead icon or the trailing icon. Again, just click it and you'll be able to see that you have so many icons over here now, even though it doesn't load currently right now. You can choose whether it's font awesome, bootstrap, material design, Aeon, Octicons, and so forth. Now you can also upload your custom icon or download icons if you wish to. Now I won't stylize that with any icons. I'll just keep it as simple as it is. Other than that, you can also have the admin label. If you add that, you can also set that as something other than just full name. Also, if you're not sure what every of these options mean, just hover the question mark over here and it will tell you exactly what that field does. Now you can also set the size and position over here. Currently right now it's on 30 width, and here you can also set that to a different value if you want to, and you can see here it just moves to the left or to the right. You can also add suggestion, and if you want to, you can add what it's going to be, the label, the value, the text, and an import if you want to import specific suggestion for the users. There's so many options over here, and also the autocomplete here. You can also suggest or define what will be the autocomplete for your users, which you don't usually see on any other form builders. As you can see here, there's so many options, and just by that, I think it's so worth it. Even if you're going with the license by 1 year of $29, it's so much worth it to my own opinion. Let's head over and see how that looks on the front end. As we usually do, head over, update the form, and then click the publish button over here, and then just copy the shortcode over here. So let's head over to our Elementor page builder. I've already set up a specific page where we can just paste our shortcode and we'll be good to go. So in this page, the only thing that you need here, or in your page where you want to implement the bit form that we just created or that you have just created, you want to search for the shortcode over in the elements inside the sidebar of Elementor. So just search for shortcode and then just drag and drop the shortcode widget to wherever you want to, and then just paste the shortcode that we've just copied from our form over there. And don't worry about that. You just want to click the apply and then it will refresh. Even though it looks now kind of funky or something like that, don't worry about that. It doesn't look like that inside the front end. The only thing that I think you should do is just click publish and then just refresh the page, and then that should work itself out. Let's see that actually inside the front end. So let's click the eye icon over here and then let's preview our form. And as we can see here, we have our full name, we have email, we have our phone number field, country, which we can search for on all of these countries, which I don't think you usually get with form builders. Correct me if I'm wrong, right here on the comment section below this video. I'll just prefill it really quickly, and I think I'll leave the phone number blank, and then I'll just click next. And I'm not sure if you have seen, but even the transition is quite cool. Just swipes it. We can see here our repeater field, text, multi-line text. As we can see here, we can also drag it to the bottom or to the top over here, and we can also put some text over here, the multi-line, we can explain some stuff. And inside the image select, you can just select some of the images if you want to, 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on what you want to. You obviously just stylize it over here also in the step. And if you want to add an image, the way that you add those images or icons, you just simply go to the right sidebar, and over here, right here on the bottom, just click the add or edit options over here. And as you'll be able to see here, we have our image over here. Whether you edit it, you can set the label, the value, you can also add an option. You can also make it to be checked by default or just delete it altogether. So just click it and you'll be able to see here we have all our icons over here loading up, and you can also select different icons by Bootstrap, Font Awesome. You can also upload icons if you want to. You can also access the downloaded icons that you have already downloaded from the library that you just want to choose from, and then you can also access the Unsplash icons over here. I will just keep it simple and I'll just head over with the icon that I've already downloaded, the Apple Pay over here. And if you want to, just click the X icon if you don't want that icon. So I'll just click that, save, and that's pretty much it. If you want to just exit out of that, you can click the X icon or just click out of that and you'll be able to see that it's already implemented. Now let's click update and let's head over back to our form. So let's hit refresh over here and we're able to see that our form is currently not populated, but there is one more option over here on top of all the options that we already have in the Bitform plugin over here, that you can also save those inputs. If you head over to the settings of the form over here, we'll be able to see that we'll be able to validate on step change, we'll be able to maintain step history and save step progress. So that's wild. I haven't seen that on any other form plugin so far. So I'll head over back to the form that we've just set it up. So I'll just fill it up again and I'll click next. And now we'll be able to see our icon over here. So let's just choose that. And over here, over in the text, let's write something like, this is for me and I just want to pay for the product. Now, if you remember what I've told you about the repeater field, the one thing that you can't see that right here, I have some problem here for some reason, but here it will be the plus icon and here it will be the minus icon. So if your user wants to duplicate the field that are already here, you just click it and you'll be able to see that the exact fields are being repeated. That's why it's called a repeater, because it repeats whatever fields that you just drop in over here. And we'll be able to see here text, multi-line, and then the image select. Other than that, I'll head over and click next. And here we'll be able to see our PayPal payment, debit or credit card, and powered by PayPal. And here we'll be able to see that we can scramble something over here. And also I will decide for you, just check it and then click submit. And we'll be able to see that it's not submitting it, and we'll be able to see successfully submitted. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this form. Before we finish up, I just wanted to show you what other things you get in the pro version, because all the things that I've showed you so far over here are just scratching the surface. What I mean by that, if we'll head over to responses, we're able to see all the responses that have been submitted through the form that we've just set it up. We're able to see the full name, the email, phone number. Currently, I haven't put it, so it will not be populated. We're able to see the country, repeater, view repeater data. We'll be able to see that over here, and it will be in a beautiful pop-up. PayPal, I haven't made any purchase, signature, decision box, and status. Currently, it's unread. I haven't read it yet, so that's why it's on status of unread. And out of that, let's head over to settings. Now, here is the crazy part. There's so much here. That's why I said we haven't scratched the surface. So we have the option to allow single entry for each IP address. We'll be able to validate form input on focus loss, honeypot trap for bots, block IP list, allow IP list, capture Google ads, enable reCAPTCHA version 3. There is confirmations. There is conditional logics, which is so crazy. I haven't even dived into that. Let's say we open that up, we'll be able to see that action run when something, action effect something, action behavior, field actions, and so many more. This is only these 3 of them. You'll be able to see over here, over in the email template, you can also set up a new email template. You can integrate, which I told you, you can integrate the Bitforms with other plugins. So let's say you click the plus icon, and here there's so many plugins you can integrate that. Now, other than that, you can also head over to the form abandonment, and here you can also save draft only for logged in users, repopulate form fields with previous partial entries, save draft when user leave the form page. Other than that, we have also conversational form. I haven't dived into that yet, but just so you be able to see how many things are there. So we have the landing form, PDF templates, which is so great. I only seen that PDF templates in another plugin, but this is just over the top. You have also the option for double opt-in and the WP auth. Other than that, that's all what I wanted to show you in this video. And again, I just wanted to show you what you get here. And if you're not sure about the bit form, you can also head over to this website and you can also try it out over here. Just try the demo over here. But other than that, the pricing here, I haven't seen these prices for these types of plugins. You can see here $29.25 US for a whole year. All this, and this is annual. And if you want to head over to lifetime for a single website, it will be $99. So you get all that for a lifetime. And if you want to upgrade it for Plus LTD or Form Agency, the prices would be as you can see here. Again, thank you for BitApps for sponsoring this video. Thank you for watching this video and going over with me on how to set up a bit form. I really hope you got some value out of this video, and I really hope I was being able to answer some of the questions for you, how to set up bit forms on your WordPress website. And if you like this video, I'd be really glad if you leave a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so you won't miss any tutorial that I post on Elementor, WooCommerce, WordPress, or any other plugins or integrations with WordPress. And as always, I'll be seeing you in the next one.